Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark, and this is Professional Farmer 2017. This is not Farming Simulator. This is not, what is it, Farm 2017. This is Professional Farmer 2017. One of the other, I don't know how many others, of the farming simulator kind of genre that has been coming out. So, I've only played Farming Simulator briefly. I've played this a bit, and I've played, I'm 90% sure it's just called Farm 2017. Sorry, Farm Expert 2017. Anyway, I've only played them for a little bit, and this one is... Each one has their own little quirks and bonuses. So let's take a look at this one. This one here, I posted a bug video for it a little while ago, where I was backing up a trailer into a fence or something, and the whole tractor did a nice little backflip into the pig pen, and I got stuck. Yeah, so that was this game. So here's some basic game options that you have. You know, show map, show help text, show hotspots. Nothing really spectacular here, except this length of day is nice. Challenge, I don't know exactly how that's going to affect anything. I'm assuming you get more money and crops grow easier, like they require less care. Haven't played this enough. I've just played through the tutorial up until the point of flippity flip. You've got input. This is it. There's no anything here. This is essentially a completely useless option. Audio. Yep, you got your master, music, and sound effects. That's nice to see. Graphics options. There's like low, medium, high. That's it. Those are your graphics options. So you can turn anti-aliasing on and off. Woohoo! What type of anti-aliasing? Don't know. What level? Don't know. Yeah, who knows? Who knows anything? Depth of field, you can have that on and off. Yep. Yep. On and off. Brightness, contrast, resolution. Those are things that exist. Nothing spectacular in the options menu. It could really use some, options. But let's go and start a game. We're going to start probably wherever I left off, because I originally started a game, and then I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and then decided, let's do the tutorial. I was actually going to stream this, a few days ago, and yeah, no, that wasn't a thing that was going to happen. I was just fucking around, and yeah, no. Alright, so, first thing to note, oh, there's traffic now. There wasn't traffic the first time I played. That might have been an option. I don't know. So, first thing to note is the mouse movement is different. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's almost like your mouse acts as a thumbstick, that as you're moving it, it gives an input of movement, but as soon as you stop it, it goes to the center. It's lagged. It's super fucking lagged. It's really disorienting. There's also this weird jitteriness that I find with it. Like, I'm getting a fairly solid 60 frames per second. There's the infamous pig pen that I flipped into. But there's this weird jitter, and there's also a motion blur on it that is disgusting. Whoa. Like, it's really weird. Now, that doesn't happen once you're in the tractor, although the tractor is really fucking loud. Driving your tractor, that's pretty much what you would expect. You're driving. Like, it takes time for it to accelerate. It takes time for it to decelerate. You know, that's about it. So, one thing to notice is that where we are, if you look at the map, and I pull up the big map, so farm has no farmland. Like, the tutorial farmland is right over here, but you'll notice that these are all the farmlands, and apparently I can't even click on them. I used to be able to move this little cursor around to select them, and it would tell me how much they were worth. But, like, right over here is where the tutorial farmland was. Oh, gonna hit a rock. And, yeah, you can't get over there. Like you cannot get over there. I don't know. I don't quite understand why there is no farmland over at the farm. There's lots of places for farmland. Like, I'm assuming that's the horse pen. That's the slurry thing. Like, you've got all your shit over here. But right now, I should probably go... Oh no, my tank's full. So I'm good there. So I need to go and... well, buy some farmland. Alright, let's... Not in a good position. Oop. Driving backwards is not easy. Alright, can I... Oh, no. How about now? Can I can couple. There we go. So we are coupled. I think this is the tool I need. So one thing to note is that the camera likes to flip it around. Instead of... what I feel they should have done is had the roof actually just fade away here, instead of, you know, having the camera run along it and then dump through it. It causes it to look very janky. But now, we're going to drive for what seems like it's going to be a fucking eternity to try to get to a farmland. To the farmland. There's also the city. Oh, that's the cow pen. Let's go onto the road. We're going to go this way. I'm GTAing this. I'm just going to drive through everything. I feel like this is the fastest route to a farmland. But I'm not entirely sure. So I am going to head over there, and when I get there, I'll bring you back. Okay, so here we are over on the other side of the map, pretty much. So we're going to try to see if we can't buy a farmland. It also resets everything when you go into a new zone. Like, I'm not entirely sure why this isn't kind of an open concept type deal, open world type thing, but it certainly is not. Did that go red, yellow, green? I'm pretty sure that went red, yellow, green. Yeah! Interesting. So, there should be a farmland. Wow, that was really hard for this tractor to go up. So over here should be a nice small plot of the land of the farms. So right now I'm getting below 30 frames per second here. So it should give me the ability to buy the field. There we go. 25. Do you want to buy it? Yes. Alright. So let's start with our plowing. At this point, it's more or less the same as like every other farming game in existence, at least as far as I can tell. Oh, and when you go into the different zones, it seems like the music is super fucking loud instead of, you know, the setting that you actually had it at. I wonder if it actually has changed my setting. Nope. Let's turn that down. And you'll notice that you press escape, and then you have to hit options. And then if you want to get out of options, you have to press escape, and then escape. Which is fucked up. Alright, so it gives you all the controls on the upper left. So what we want to do now is, not decouple, I almost hit H. We want to lower and apparently close the grubber, which I would think I would want to open it. And I have the wrong attachment. Aha! Delightful. Oh dear. So now I have to go all the way back to get the right attachment. I wonder if I can sneak through here. Is there... There's actually a guardrail there. Can I take out this wild boar? Wow, the wild boar moves moves at the exact same speed as my tractor. So, can I hop this? Almost. So, yeah. That is a huge issue that I have. So I have to go all the way around in order to, you know, get my other equipment. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand why I have to go halfway across the map just to do anything. Like, this is fucked up. And boring. Like, I should have all this, like, that should be my house. I don't need an entire zone just for my shit. Like, I seriously don't. But again, I will drive for an eternity, and I will cut this out, and I'll grab the right equipment, and I'll be back. Alright, we're almost back. Almost. And let's turn off cruise. Get the tree out of the fucking way. Straighten out really poorly. It's funny, I can do all of this really well in a, well, not all of this, but all of this really well in a real vehicle, but not in this thing. Alright, so we've opened our plow. We can also close our plow to rotate it and lower our plow. So let's lower our plow and plow away. Look, we're plowing. So, once we're done plowing, we can then go and do the grubber, which just makes it smaller. What am I doing? Alright, let's go and do this kind of long ways. I cannot drive in video games. I can't. It's a problem, and that's just my life. So yeah, there's nothing spectacular about this. It is really kind of menial work. Now you will notice that in the top of the screen, right in the center, it gives you how much you've got completed of this task. Which is kind of cool, but it's also, unless it was just for the tutorial field, it's also really kind of broken. And yeah, I do this weird, deal with it. It's just how I am. I feel this is the appropriate way for me to do this. And, whatever. We'll just continue on, doing our thing. So yeah, this is pretty much it. It functions for the most part like any other farming sim, but it has I guess a few extra bits to it, like the grubber. I don't recall seeing the grubber in any of the other farming sim games. The trees are obnoxious as fuck, but, you know, that's, I think, par for the course. This would actually probably be the worst possible game for me to play, because I hate grass in video games, and pretty much all sorts of vegetation. So, like, this would be, like, the bane of my existence. Oh, God. I'm all over the place. I'm drunk. So, not the most exhilarating thing in the world to watch. I'm fully aware of this. It's actually quite dull. But it's kind of relaxing, I'll give it that. You know, it's one of those things that you just... It's good to do after, you know, a long day of dealing with stupid. You just come home and tune out. You know, I can definitely see the draw of, well, pretty much all of these games. This one, to me, it doesn't stand out. What am I doing? It doesn't particularly stand out in the crowd. The camera is obnoxious as fuck. The on-foot controls are just atrocious. The layout of the field is just fucking stupid. Like, I have 4 zones, 2 of which are, like, accessory zones, as I'm gonna call them. They don't actually have any real function and could easily be accumulated or combined. There we go. That's probably a better word. They could easily be combined into the other 2 zones. Yeah, not the best. Not the best way to plow your shit. Not a farmer. Not a farmer. That's my defense. I am not a farmer. Therefore, I'm not expected to be able to plow shit properly. What am I saying? What was I saying? What am I talking about here? Frame rate is garbage. The frame rate is absolute shit. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's terrible. It is probably the worst performing farming game I've ever seen. Like, Farming Simulator 2016 performs like 1,000 times better than this thing. And I know this is 17. On significantly worse hardware than what I have. I don't see any reason for this to run so poorly. But it does. It really does. Lack of graphics options are also a huge downside. But for the most part, it's rather enjoyable. You know, if you can get away, if you can deal with having to travel for so long just to get a single tool or to get a single thing, it might be worth it. But if you want a game that, for a game that's entirely downtime, if you want a game that has less downtime in it, yeah, I know that's kind of a contradiction. I honestly, I couldn't recommend it. This thing is clunky in a lot of areas. It's kind of unfortunate because it has a lot of good points, a lot of interesting things that it does. The tutorial is actually quite good. Let's back up here. Something that you would probably never do in, you know, on a real farm. So I'm pretty sure I just need to get this up to 500, I think. I'm not sure exactly what I'm missing here, but yep, don't know. Don't even know if I am missing anything, because the tutorial, I was less done than this. Like, my whole thing was less complete than this, and it was telling me to go get the next thing. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to raise all this and close it and drop it. Because I'm just going to leave it over here. Because fuck that. I'll be damned if I'm going to haul everything back and forth. And of course, I'm stupid and didn't think about that beforehand, because I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, I need the grubber now. So I need to go and get that. Now, luckily, I did leave it just on the other side of the tunnel. But I am going to, again, go and drop that off, or go and get that. I'll probably actually go all the way back to my farm, and probably go all the way back to my farm and fill up, because as you can see in the lower left, my fuel is starting to get a little low. Because doing all these trips back and forth, you're going to use a lot of excess fuel. Now, some of this crap could be mitigated, so much for me cutting this out, some of this crap could be mitigated by just taking out these guardrails. Because then I could just cut through here. And this car's a jackass. But anyway, I'm going to do the thing and we'll be back. Alright, so now I am back with the grubber and a full tank of gas. And let's see if I can... wait for the vehicle to stop. Let's see if I can actually grubber this thing now. So, let's lower the grubber, open the grubber, and go. So now this is what the field looks like to me in Farming Simulator after you plow it. Now, I could be mistaken. I haven't spent a lot of time with Farming Simulator, or really any of the farming sim type deals. But, you know, it's kind of cool, you know. You've got the different steps. You'll then put, I believe it's slurry you put on. And let's go around the tree. And then you can plant your seeds, if I'm remembering correctly. Which I could be not remembering correctly. I'm not a farmer. That's going to be my defense for everything I fuck up. I am not a farmer. That's it. I can't be trusted with a farm. I cannot. But, yeah, I really don't have much to say about the game, other than performance is shit, and the map layout is shit. It's pretty much the worst things. Like, I know I complained about the first-person camera right at the beginning, because, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Oh, there it is. Dear tree. Fucking get out of the way. From this perspective, I can't really see where... There it is. I couldn't see where I wanted to be. That's weird. I can't... So there's different camera angles. I totally neglected... What the... Okay, it felt like I was going backwards for a bit. So it's kind of cool that there's that whole first-person perspective in the truck. It's kind of neat, but it's really frame rate crappy. Like, just as an example, right now we're doing 40 frames per second. Now we're doing about 30. Now we're doing 40. But my camera is locked. And then in first person, right now we're doing 40. But now we're doing 36, although it feels a lot worse. It really does feel a lot worse. But this gives us probably the overall best perspective with the best frame rate, more or less. So right now we're down to about 20, but it's less noticeable, I find. Mainly because we're so far away and we're not bouncing like we do in first person. So we got this versus this. Because there's a lot more movement, it just feels a lot worse at the lower frame rate. And yeah, that's about all I got for this. It's not a bad game. Definitely not a bad game. Apparently, this update allows you to use like wheels, like actual steering wheels, which that's actually kind of cool. That would most likely increase the immersion of this a lot. I can't be bothered to dig my wheel out and install the drivers for it and try to figure out how to set it up. Yeah, I just can't be bothered. I'm not going to play this enough, and I'm fine with mouse and keyboard on it, to be honest. I don't need that kind of immersion. So anyway, I'm going to actually end this here because I don't think anybody wants to see me continue going around in a circle very poorly. Or I guess a square very poorly. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. As I drive into a fucking train. Good job, Mark. Good job. Good job, Mark. Good job. Good job. Keep hitting the fucking tree, dude. Just keep hitting the tree. Just hammer it home how shitty a driver you are. Just hammer it home. Alright. Bye!